Hello everyone, today we have a new season of Marvel Snap, and with that comes two brand new cards, one being Captain Carter, a 4-cost, 3-power that she has the ongoing ability of add her power to the 2 cards in the back row. So if she's in the front, and she can't add it to herself, but anything played after her if she's in the front row will add to that card. This feels like it's going to be a lot of work. When I was theory crafting and brainstorming deck ideas, it just feels like it is too much commitment. So dropping like the Psylocke or dropping like Galacta into the Captain Carter or other things to buff her up, a lot of times feels like it's too much work for the payoff. But the other card released, Goliath, feels like he is going to be a phenomenal addition into the Spectrum style of deck. Specifically what I'm running today is the Spectrum Moonstone deck. Being able to have so many ongoing cards, Goliath is typically going to be a 2/8, if not more, which is wild value for a 2-cost. And then if we decide to drop him into the Moonstone lane, it's now a 2/16 if you're not counting what you paid for the Moonstone. And then we're taking it one step further in today's deck to add a little bit more flexibility in what and how and where we're going to play our cards. And that's by adding in Ravona. Ravona is going to give us a discount on Goliath, a discount on Mystique, discount on Mr. Fantastic, a discount on Iron Man, so that we can save those like really big game-changing, game-breaking plays for the last turn, so that we can, if we need to drop priority or not have it, we can do just that. We also have in the deck, we have Captain America and Sam Wilson Captain America, both fantastic cards. Getting the extra shield onto the board helps Goliath, and it helps with your flexibility. And then Captain America, just great to play in the Moonstone lane by himself. And the fact that the shield buffs him up is just a bonus. We have Ant-Man for the low end, and then for the higher end, we have Blue Marvel and Spectrum, which sometimes maybe we don't go with the Moonstone line, and instead we just go with a good Flood Blue Marvel Spectrum, and we can just dominate that way. The one tech card that I think has been very underutilized lately, and therefore has a lot of power potential, is Cosmo. Being able to slot Cosmo into this deck, we can stop so many strong on reveals. If you're still seeing Agamotto, you can stop his spells. It won't clutter them up because they will still be banished, but the spells can't trigger, so you don't have to worry about your cards being moved or whatever the spell was going to be. You stop destroy decks, you stop a lot of like counterplay. So if they're running Enchantress to try to stop all the ongoings, you can protect your Moonstone and your high value targets from that nasty Enchantress that's running around. We may have some trouble against Super Scroll decks, but even that, we have some strategic advantage in being able to stack our low-cost ongoing cards into a Moonstone lane. Even if their Super Scroll copies that Moonstone and that ability, it's not going to double it up. So if you have, for instance, a Moonstone and then Mystique that copied Iron Man, you're going to have 2 Iron Men in that lane with your Moonstone, and they're only going to have 1, which can be very, very beneficial if you're looking to outshine and outcompete their Super Scroll lane. Overall, the list has felt really, really good. Of course, it's the start of the season, so nobody is post-infinite. It's still just feeling it out, but this one, I will tell you, feels really, really good. I feel like Moonstone, and I said it when she released, is a card that has a lot of potential, and over time, she's getting stronger and stronger. As we have those 3 or less cost ongoing cards release, she is getting benefit every single time. And so she's a card that if you like kind of this style of deck, definitely worth investing in. You could build just a regular Spectrum deck to take advantage of Goliath, but I think the Moonstone deck is really going to be what makes him shine. Let's go ahead and jump over into a couple of games. Thank you guys, as always, for being here. I hope you guys enjoy. We haven't done a whole lot, but we do have Moonstone for 4, which is great. We get an extra discount onto our Iron Man Mystique. Mr. Fantastic. Goliath was already going to be 1. Ooh, so I actually haven't used Captain Carter yet. I feel like she's a bit clunky for what I was wanting to do. Like, maybe we can find a way, but I'm not sure that she fully fits into that ongoing scheme, because now you have to, I mean, Where Island is great with her, but now you have to get cards into the back row, which can be kind of problematic at times. So let's Moonstone. We're going to go ahead and move Cap Shield to buff up Sam Wilson in the left. And then we'll have a really cheap Iron Man Mystique to be able to play with. And then also, I guess, Spectrum buffing up the... Or I guess, yeah, Spectrum buffing up Captain Carter will be very, very good. And so that back line is going to be very, very scary. But a double Iron Man, it should have no problem. No problem solving that, I don't think. So let's go Iron Man, Mystique. I'm going to go ahead and go Ant-Man. We could probably snap this one, but I don't think we're going to. I think we're just going to play it as is. Now, if they have a Super Scroll, we're obviously in trouble. So they're going to go both Spectrums. The one on last turn, and then they're going to go one on this turn. That's because they got Psylocke from their Iron Lad, which is great. But I guess, man, this lane becomes, like, whatever they throw here is so massive, though. I think it's fine. I think. So we can go Spectrum into the right. That forces at least, yeah, it forces at least a tie over here. And we do still hold down the win. Like, they even had such a big Captain Carter, but it's just no... It's not going to stand up to a double Iron Man in the same lane, same scenarios. So we'll take the one. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, first up we have Agatha Enjoyer. The first location is Sakaar. Looks like they're running some form of a mirror match. The Super Scroll is a bit scary. I thought about teching in one of those, or even just something kind of a little bit different like Red Guardian, or on an off chance Enchantress to take care of the Super Scrolls, but never ended up doing it. So let's go ahead and go Cap Shield into mid, and then I'm going to drop Ravona over into the... I'm going to do it to the left. I'm just kidding. We're going to drop Ravona into the left lane. That gives them Ravona as well, but with our Moonstone deck, we could potentially get a lot of benefit from the Ravona, especially with Goliath, Mystique, Iron Man, all of those getting discounted, Mr. Fantastic, all of those getting discounted by the Ravona. It is very, very nice to have. Let's go ahead and go Captain America. He'll get buffed up in mid, which is great. Over the course of the game, we have Iron Man. We're really hoping to get both Iron Man, Mystique down to really help elevate the Nexus lane. Super Scroll is going to be really, really scary. Same thing with Enchantress for the first week or so, as we just got two really cheap, really good ongoing resources to be able to utilize. So let's go Cap Shield into mid. We're going to go Iron Man, and then we'll see. If we do it without playing anything into Mojo World, we're going to have one heck of a lead in Mojo World, because we're probably not going to have as many cards as they do. So we probably need to eventually dump like Ant-Man, maybe Mr. or Mooster Fantastic, and the shield over there might end up being what we need to do. They have Sam Wilson and Captain America. Oof. Okay. So I do think Mooster Fantastic is going to be the right call. But maybe it's something like this. We could position the shield... I don't know. We position the shield over on the right, and then it'd be Spectrum. If we did that, is Goliath or Ant-Man going to be better suited than the 7 power in mid? So we can do this. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goes up to a 6 power card. Ant-Man goes up to 5. And then we still throw the rest over here. And the reason for that is we're going to have to fill up Mojo World to have a shot in the Nexus at all. And so it's going to be really, really tricky to make that winnable. Because with Super Scroll, they pretty much just solo Sakaar every time. And so Mojo World becomes very, very important to win. So Mooster Fantastic, that gives them the same benefit as it does us, but it's fine. And the Doom bots, Doom 2099, I don't think that's where it's going to ultimately land, but fine. And so now we have to do this. We go Cap Shield, we go Spectrum on the right, because right now we are winning here, because we're winning here, but we have to fill this lane since they haven't filled. And we hope for no like weird Juggernaut or anything similar. if they could put enough power in the Nexus, which I'm glad that they can't, we would be in trouble. Super Scroll is going to be a problem for like the first week or two until this kind of levels out. And then I think you can start playing without as much fear of it. But for now, you do have to worry about both Enchantress and Super Scroll for probably the first week or two. Let's go ahead and take the one. We'll jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Barius. The first location, Sinister London. We could double up on Ant-Man. I think we're going to hold off on doubling him up, though. We can double up something more impactful like Captain America. Since they are running, it looks like the Thanos Agamotto deck, which is pretty strong. We have to look out for double Winds of Watum, because that could be devastating. Same thing with the extra Rampage of Energy. Could be devastating as well. So we did get Luke Cage out of Camp Lehi, so it would now just be more of an annoyance of the movement factor, not necessarily the debuff. We also have a big double Cosmo, so I think we're going to snap it into a double Cosmo. That's going to make their spells so much less efficient. Yes, it still won't take up space because they're a skill, I guess not a spell, and they get banished, but the effects won't happen. And so we can dodge a lot of grief. So if this is the double power ramp up, Bolts of Balthok, depending on where that second one goes, no extra energy. Wait, no, why'd they snap back? What? Okay. All right. Interesting enough. We could go double Mooster Fantastic. We could go, let's go double Captain America. That's what we're going to do. We're going to fill our board with ongoing cards. And so to the right, they could have the one that moves. No, just Red Guardian. Okay. It's an odd thing to snap into, but it's fine. They only get one card draw, so they didn't get anything extra. We just didn't get our one extra, which is also fine. Let's go Blue Marvel. Double Blue Marvel is huge. And then depends on what we find. We have Goliath, which I think in this particular game is pretty handy. So big Agamotto. Okay. Iron Man is, I don't think we can pass up an Iron Man. The problem being if it goes right, would be iffy. If it goes mid, beautiful. We just win the game. Unless they have a Super Scroll. Super Scroll could throw everything out of whack. Otherwise, I think worst case scenario, it's a 50-50 of if the second Iron Man goes mid, to the right could be a problem. But we do force the retreat from the Agamotto. The Cosmo has been vacant for so long that it is so impactful against so many decks. I love the feeling of Cosmo. We'll go ahead and take it. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Decoy Octopus. First location, Bar Sinister, could be kind of interesting depending on what we decide to play over there. I guess not. Did I say first up? It's not first up. I think we have another game. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure what I said. The Aranya, Madam Web, so movement stuff can be kind of scary. Maybe we can stop them from hitting like a beast with our Cosmo. Sometimes that is something that we're able to make happen. But for now, I think I'm gonna go Mr. Fantastic. Maybe it's more so that we do Ravona this turn. I'm going to do Mr. Fantastic and we'll see. They snapped on us. The movement of their cards is going to be pretty scary, but there is a chance that we just can maybe overpower it. I guess we could have done Ravona into like a triple Iron Man left or some kind of craziness. Could have been really, really cool, but that's fine. Instead, we're going to do Moonstone right. With Limbo, we have a little bit of extra time to develop. And so maybe we can find our Mystique. Throw that into the Moonstone lane to get a big bonus there. The Human Torch, especially with movement, and if they're going to pick it up, it's scary, but... And then they could have a really big one and just duplicate it in Bar Sinister. Scary. And so it's Cosmo over here. Okay, that's fine. For the most part, it's fine. I guess if we did Iron Man here, that would give them It may not be exact because we are going to have Sam Wilson down. We can prioritize doing that next turn, so they would have to decide on Cosmo, in-bar Sinister, or Limbo, which I think is probably good enough for me. And then the triple up of the Mr. Fantastic in mid is already pretty good. We'll see. We'll see what we can make happen. Let's do Sam Wilson, Captain America, or Sam Wilson, Ravona. Do Goliath as well. That would make Mystique 1. We could do that alongside Spectrum, potentially, for the Goliath play. Captain America is also pretty decent, but let it sit. Okay, so the Cosmo is now guaranteed over into the right. So with Sam Wilson, we can now guarantee our Spectrum triggers, which is good. Are they going to... There's no way they have like Limbo or like Legion or some way to rip this away, right? Wait. Did they think we were going to change it? Did they forget about Limbo? I mean, we won that round anyways, regardless. But now we can like extra win it. It is what it is. We would have won that round regardless, but we're going to go ahead and lock this in. And we will take the 2 cubes. Let's jump over into the next one. Next up, we have Thorkachu, which I thought maybe was a bot. But they snapped on turn 1. They played Loki. I'm going to treat it as if it's not. And then if it is, we'll be kind of pleasantly surprised, I guess. All right, let's go Sam Wilson to the left. It is going to go down to 2, but then we can continue to buff it up with the shield. And then we're going to play Captain America on 3 into mid. That way we can buff him up with the shield and just ping-pong it back and forth. It is a Thanos deck, so we have to worry about a potential Reality Stone. We don't want to rely too heavily on any one given lane. Onslaught Citadel is actually pretty good for our... Actually, very good for our deck. Being able to fit any number of things there, whether it be Mr. Fantastic, Ravona is great, Iron Man, of course, Mystique, Blue Marvel, all of those are going to be amazing in that lane if it remains. So their one card, Moonstone. Whoa. A little scary. It is a lot of bit scary, actually. I guess we're going to follow suit. We're also going to play Moonstone there. And then we're hoping for a Mr. Fantastic. If not, we're going to lean on to like Blue Marvel, and then our last turn will kind of depend on what everything else looks like. So big Psylocke. Then Captain America over to the right. Scariness. You get Ravona. But I think we're going to go Blue Marvel. And then maybe last turn we throw some shenanigans into mid lane and just give up Onslaught Citadel. Because they're going to have more with the Captain America, the Moonstone stack. We probably should have been less greedy and Moonstoned into mid, but oh well. It is what it is. Big Thanos, big Ravona for a major discount. They did grab priority off of that. We could go Mystique, which is the Blue Marvel, and then Moonstone is also the Blue Marvel. Sounds marvelous to me. And then let's go Goliath into mid, because I don't think we're ever going to win the right lane, right? I mean, maybe there's a shot we win the right lane, and then Goliath could really help elevate the Moonstone, and then himself. We're going to have, what, triple Blue Marvel. Helps us out in mid. If they have any, like an Iron Man, Mystique, we are in trouble. But I am going to give it a shot. And they could have both, especially with the double Ravona, I guess quadruple Ravona discount, yeah? Super scary. So Sam Wilson, so far so good. Spectrum, okay. I don't know if we beat 28 power, but it's going to be close. With the triple up of the Blue Marvel, we get some big elevation. The Goliath stacking into mid should be able to do it. We swing mid, we swing left. We'll take the 4 cubes. let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have SandroCon. The first location, Central Park. Not great for the clutter test, but let's go Ant-Man to the left, and then we'll see. Zabu is kind of interesting because it could be a like Galacta, Captain Carter style of cook, but at the same time it could be just big high power bodies of like Scar. But I think this is probably more likely going to be a like Galacta, Captain Carter buff style of deck. Let's see. Sam Wilson, they do have the ability to move Sam around. We have the Ravona. We could double up on the discount. I'm not sure that we necessarily want to. We could also, we can go ahead and go Moonstone left, I guess. It's not awful. And then we'll see what we draw. Especially with Titan, we'll be able to do Spectrum plus Goliath last turn. It's a pretty nice one. It is an interesting Captain Carter cook. They got Captain Carter down on 3, which is big. But do they have any way to buff it up? Is going to be, I think, our big question. Let's go... I'm going to go Iron Man right. And then if we draw Mystique, obviously throwing Mystique into the Moonstone lane left would be fantastic. Captain Carter is going to be able to buff up everything in that second row in the left lane. So if they go with like a Spectrum, it gets a little bit of oomph, but it's still not, I don't think, enough to make it like all... I don't think it's... Honestly, I don't think it's worth the investment. Now, the only thing that we're going to lose to here could be a potential Super Scroll. But otherwise, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna go. What if we go Cosmo into mid? It's either Cosmo mid or Cosmo right. If we go mid, we'll have to go Goliath mid, Spectrum right next turn, which I think is fine. Let's go Cosmo mid. I'm gonna go ahead and snap back. We have the Mystique copying the Iron Man, so even if they throw like a Super Scroll left, stacking onto our Moonstone, we'll be able to outshine their Super Scroll at the very least, because the Moonstone is not going to copy and then stack up with everything else from the Super Scroll copy. Now, they go 1 into mid, which is big Iron Man. Very scary. And then we'll see. So that Super Scroll could still be on the table. And if so, like if Super Scroll is right, it could be problematic. We could go Mooster Fantastic to get a little bit of oomph here, but I think it's still going to be the Goliath, the Spectrum, and the Prayer. So let's see. Let's see if we're able to hold this one down. Left lane should be no problem unless they somehow or for some reason brought an Enchantress. But the shield over there I don't think is going to be enough. A Spectrum I don't think is going to be enough in all of the lanes. We do end up getting the 4-cube retreat. I was hoping to see like a big finale, but I am going to go ahead and end the video there with that 4-cuber. Overall, Goliath feels like a incredible addition to the Moonstone list. We're going to go ahead and end the video there. Thank you guys so much for being here. This has been TLSG. Later, guys.